Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, how you guys doing? I go by the name of the Pride of the Eastside, DJ MH Tutter, and this is the Booth Radio on Urban Grind TV. Today I have one of the dopest co-hosts and artists around these days. Decima is in the building. How are you?
Oh my God, what a nice intro. I'm trying not to cry. Oh, I'm great. I love that you were like boys and girls. Love that, everybody included.
Absolutely. That's how we try to keep it family oriented around here at the Booth Radio.
Yes.
Everything been cool though? You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just got back from Ohio.
You had fun?
I totally did. It was more of a chilled little traveling session that I did, and I went to Gahanna, Ohio, which is a random spot in Ohio.
Okay.
And with nothing other than I know where I was gonna stay, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. So it was really nice to just like chill.
Was this trip planned or you just got up and left?
It was like planned the night before I left, so
wow. Okay.
almost.
That's dope.
I was like, spring break, here I come.
those are like the most fun trips, though.
Yeah, totally. I was like, I want to go somewhere close by, and I didn't want to go to like Wisconsin or Indiana or Iowa because I've been there already. So I was like, oh, let me try Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. 5-hour drive. Felt like nothing.
By yourself?
No, with my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to even go all into your boyfriend. I didn't even know you had a boyfriend.
No, I do.
That's pretty dope, though.
Yeah, he's an awesome friend.
Okay. So listen, it's the Booth Radio, Urban Grind TV. Decima's in the building, DJ MH Tutter. We got a lot going on up here at Urban Grind. We are about to release in the next week or two the Urban Grind Lifestyle magazine. Magazine issue number 2. Are you excited?
I am super excited. I was taking a sneak peek. Don't tell anybody.
So are you going to tell them who's on the cover?
Are you going to tell them?
No way.
Well, then there you go. I'm not going to do it either. If you don't do it, I won't do it.
Be looking out for that soon. Go to urbangrindlifestyle.com, man. We got some really dope articles in there. You wrote an article as well, right?
I did. I wrote the one about myself. That was the article I wrote, guys.
That's pretty dope, though, right?
Yeah.
You got some dope pictures in there as well, too.
Yeah, no, I saw the pictures. It was really cool. All the pictures were awesome. The photo shoot was amazing. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. You guys should definitely take a look at it.
Definitely. I'm really excited for the release of this one, man. I think people going to really appreciate what we did because we put in a lot of hard work up here.
Yeah, a lot of work. Totally.
A lot of hours. Shout out to the whole crew for that one. Also, go to urbangrindtv.com. Check out the website. Also, go to urbangrindtv.com. Check out the website. We got some new videos and new content up there for you guys to check out. If you're in Chicago, check us out on Comcast a while every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. on Channel 25. We got a really, really dope show. And also Friday nights, if you're in the Western Suburbs, check us out at midnight on Channel 19. If you're not in Chicago, you can always go to urbangrindtv.com again and get all the dope content. We got some really, really, really dope episodes up right now that you guys need to be in tune with. The Booth Radio. DJ MH Tutter, Decima's in the building.
Hey.
May 13th. Get your tickets right now. They're on sale for the Portage Theater. Joel Santana is in the building. Are you going?
Yeah, totally.
You
have to be there.
Santana.
I have to be there. There's no questions asked. I will be there.
Thanks. I like that. I haven't seen Joel's in a while, so I'll be real interested to see, what his stage performance is.
Yeah,
around
totally.
And this new climate of music as well. Like I heard a couple new records he did, but I'm really interested to see Joel's. Make sure you go get your tickets for that. It's going down. DJ MH Tutter, the Booth Radio. We got some dope artists in the building today, man. My homie in the building. I told y'all we was gonna get him in. Marv J is here. We gonna get in tune with him and talk about this Lucy project he dropped and everything, man. Y'all get in tune. Y'all get ready. Booth Radio, Urban Grind TV. We'll be right back.
The Booth Radio.
It's DJ MH Tutter. It's the Booth Radio on Urban Grind TV. Decima's still in the building. How are you, lady?
I am amazing. I'm still here chilling with you and our special guest.
So let me give you guys the history of Marv J, right? So the first time I was introduced to Marv J was at Velvet Lounge. We did the Break of the Yankee live showcase where we had artists performing like CEO Trigger, Quo, K Valentine, of course, Ray Illa. We had a few artists perform, right? And Kay introduced me to Marv J. She like, check him out. He real dope. And, me and Marv stayed in tuned over time. He dropped a project called Lucy. Checked out the project. Real dope project. And recently, I've been running into him like always at the show, and it's just always been love and gratitude. So we did the Break It and Yank It live at Refuge, and he came through, and he came and performed. I was surprised. I didn't think he was gonna come perform and do nothing like that. I was just thinking he was coming to chill. He like, nah, I came to tear this thing down. So he signed up and he tore it down like always. So we've been playing this record in rotation. Then we came up here, and I just decided that we gonna do Break It and Yank It and put it with the panel. And the panel, before, like when everybody was done, you got a unanimous Break It. Everybody wanted the joint and was repeating the hook to Waffle House. So ladies and gentlemen, Marv J is in the building. Can everybody in the studio please make some noise for Marv J, please?
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm great. God is good. How y'all been?
Man, can't complain at all, man.
Oh man, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
So where we gonna start this Marv J story at, man?
Man, wherever you want to start at, it's a lot of it. It's still going.
Definitely that.
I like the grammar. I cannot get over that. The grammar school, how it started. Mostly because, I work at a school as a preschool teacher assistant, and I think it's pretty cool that, that's where the spark just came out.
Yeah, it seems cliche, but when I was in 7th grade, my English teacher was also a rapper, and he recited the original piece, and I still remember it. The hook was, boom, boom, the wait is over. Big B's jumping in your Rover. Shake it up, shake it down. Some coming to your town. And it was just like, he was a cool guy, and I could tell he was like real literal in the literature, him being an English teacher, but he was black, he was kind of younger, he was in the hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So he had that lyrical persona and that kind of the presence of that culture that related to me in 7th grade, me being somebody that was coming from Chicago, listening to, Twister, Psychodrama, Do or Die, Speed Now Mobsters, everybody from the city, but also brought up on like a lot of East Coast, because that's where the hip hop was. I watched a lot of movies and a lot of soundtracks and a lot of scores, and it's a lot of music that, centers from New York, you know what I mean? So yeah, 7th grade, and from there it was just writing, you know what I mean, from listening to music off the radio or off the tapes and rewinding it. Again, this is before Google, this is before lyric.com off your phone.
Off the tapes.
You got, when you rewind it, you know
pencil
what I mean?
and your notebook in hand.
And you try to get every word, and you compare with your friends, like, nah, he said this, nah, he said that. And you really don't know, because it's not like they be like, there's a disclaimer somewhere.
Yeah.
But just getting into that, being a student of the craft and getting into that writing, the formats and standards of verses, the way they was rhyming, seeing it on the paper, you know what I mean? It's like reading the script to a movie, or, just having a different perspective of that piece of art, you know what I mean? And, and there were two things, like I would write, you know what I mean? And then I could freestyle, but I could never spit what I wrote or remember what I freestyled. So it's always like a duality. Yeah, but again, being a student of the craft and practicing and going, like, man, I think it was like 10 years before I recorded my first anything. And this is like, man, again, this is when we were still doing karaoke. The karaoke machine got the tape player in the joint with the CD at the top. We would do that and recorded the tapes where you would put the tissue or the piece of paper in the back of the tape to record it.
Take over the original.
Hey, it was crazy, but from there it's just a progress and a progression and just steady staying at it. And like I was telling Decima,
Yes.
I was telling her I've been serious about it for like the past 4 years, and I define serious as being when I start putting my money into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where it's like that's that serious, where it's not so much as you want to call it a risk, but it's that's that much you have invested physically and, any other way. You know what I mean? But
definitely.
Yeah.
So, you remember some of your first raps?
I remember, again, this was around that 7th, 8th grade era. I remember one of Missy Elliott at Timberland joints. I became a big Timberland fan. And I think it was one of their songs that I would rap all the time. Like in my head, I would know like 8 bars of it. And one of my friends, he heard it and he thought it was me. and I didn't necessarily tell him it wasn't. Because it was an obvious song. I was like, man, one, you ain't heard this? Yeah. I mean, what do you? But the way I would rap it, it would be like, it was from memory. It was like my own, and it was, that's the most, the closest thing I had to it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I was writing, but I couldn't recite it. And this is before I was freestyling, when I had the balls big enough to do it in front of public. You know what I mean? But I remember that. I don't remember. I used to write a lot. I write a lot. Like, I got ADD, so I never stick to something. That's why it took a while for me to be able to perform, remembering my lines. You know what I mean? Because I would write so much. It got to a point where it's not that I didn't put value in my pieces. It was just like, I didn't want my last piece to be my greatest piece. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And because one, I wasn't like recording, so none of these were getting heard. And two, it was just like, I wanted it to be real within me, where I can do this every time. Like, I could write I could think it's the coldest thing and be like, I write another one. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it was. So I had a problem remembering a lot of rhymes. So again, when I got serious, started putting money into it and started performing, that's when I started getting better at, because the way I do it, you have to associate it with it. Like, man, the best way I memorize things is by, like, I'll write it and I'll keep going over it till I record it. And then while I record it, I probably lay it down like 1 or 2 takes, you know what I'm saying? And it's the mixing process, because it just plays back and forth, and you keep hearing it, and you're there. That's why I like to be there during the mixing process, because it's embedded in my head. Then after that, I'm listening to it. Right. I'm in all speakers, on the CD player, my friend Kai, in the club, wherever I can, just to get that balance of where I want it sonically. Right. You know what I mean? And, by the grace of God, because it was like, man, it was hard. I couldn't remember nothing. And because I had got so used to just writing and writing and writing, that it was like, I never held on to any other words. So doing all that and having that process as an artist, being there on all sides, you know what I'm saying, got me into the mode of memorizing things. Now it's gotten to the point where it's like the new joint, I got the Hit 'Em in the Head, you know what I mean? Doing that step process, writing it, going over it, going to the studio, recording it. By the time it's recorded these days, I can go perform it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I've been through that process and it's stuck in my head, and I put more value into it. And I'm not writing as much with just a frivolous stroke. Just to be right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's more, I know I can get it heard now.
How was that moment when you first stepped into the booth to record? Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Like, what was that like?
When I first got into the booth, it was, you remember Forest City? They used to have like this thing in the basement. You pay like $20, you could record and whatnot. So I went there, right? And this is when, it's like, again, it was like, all right, I want to start recording. I've been writing, I've been freestyling, this and that. Let's put a track together. So me and my little cousin, LP, we went in there. And this is a song I practiced. I wrote it, went over it. But I went in there and I spit it, and it just wasn't on beat. It didn't sound out loud how it sounded in my head. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't get it, because it was like, you ever seen like in the movies where like they got this, like you know what I'm saying, they perform it and they think they did it one way, and then they rewind and show you how it actually happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh damn, that's not where it went. You know what I mean? But that was my first experience with being in the booth. Now I had recorded like on tapes and everything, but like being in the booth and knowing the sound and knowing where I wanted was completely different. But I listened to it and I loved it still, because it was still my own thing. But I think my first real is when I was doing recording FLPM, my first mixtape. You know what I mean? Because prior to that, I had a mixtape I did called Starvation, but I did it on a laptop in my basement. It was just cheaply done, like a step right above karaoke recording. Gotcha. So when I was doing FLPM, that was my, I go in, I got my mind right, made smoke signals. It wasn't no rush. It was songs I had went over. I can go back as many takes, and that was like my truest breaking into the art of just into that part of the creating the music. You know what I mean? Man, and that wasn't even too long ago. Like I said, sometimes I'd be like, man, time is escaping and I got this and it's a small window and whatnot. But then I realized, like, whether I've been putting money into it or really recording, You know, I haven't been doing it that long. You know what I'm saying? Things like actually right on path. I just started late. You know what I mean? Like if I took it serious earlier, then it'd be earlier. You know what I mean? But being as high things went out, I'm on time. But I just got to keep reminding myself of that. You know.
So you dropped a project called Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy was like your first official body of work that you put on all streaming and the sales for sale, right?
Yeah, this is true.
What was tell the people about Lucy, man? Like, what's your favorite track off of it, first of all?
Favorite track. I run in my mind this scenario every time. Like, what's your favorite?
But it just never comes out the way that you
play it out
think.
completely. It's just that question. I get as far as the question. I never answer it. I love Waffle House, man. That's my favorite track, man. It's up tempo. It's like bars. That was my thinking, like in terms of branding and like what would be a single. And single just being what would you lead? What would they hear first? What would be their first impression of Marv J?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we're thinking of a body of work, so it has to also be relatable to the rest of the project. You know what I mean? You can't have that one song and the rest of the joint is like, well, damn, this is kind of drawing me in on a wrong, false advertisement. You know what I mean? So, but thinking of all that, thinking of like a managerial position, an artist position, you know, I went with that. But it was also like the beat was so nice and just bouncy and drawn that it gave me that space to put some good bars down, make it a good song. You know what I mean? Catchy little hook, you know what I mean? And still show a little bit of my lyrical talent. Still incorporate a little bit of the theme for the rest of the project, but also be like, if that was the only thing they heard, you know what I mean?
Word.
As well with that, you know, that if they could only leave with that, if they could only leave with one song, you know what I mean, it would be the Waffle House.
Dope. So, who, like production-wise, who did you work with on the project?
I believe all of them are NY Bangers, a couple producers that I met online. They do a lot of joints for I think they had a Young M.A. joint, the Ooh, or one of them joints, but they do a lot of dope joints. And the thing I like about them is they have so much variety, you know what I mean?
Word.
And it's probably because it's a group of them, more than one of them. Mm-hmm. But you just don't get that same, you know, because I have producers and I have other guys that, you know, I get the music from and do this, but these songs just stuck out to me. Again, like I said, I done it in like 30 days, so it was kind of quick turn of what I wanted to do. These are all fresh songs, all something new. You know, I didn't want to do nothing old, nothing that was mixed with one idea or the other. I just wanted to make this one theme, one thought all together and get it out. That's another reason why it's short. But not short, but just like that 10-track, quick 40-minute.
Yeah.
And you said it took you 30 days. Was that like a constant work of a 30-day?
Yeah, between writing it and recording it and getting it mixed, it took about a month, and that wasn't like something sought out. It was just that was my main focus every week. Every week I was recording, mixing, and writing. Mm-hmm. And just luckily having that funding and that management support, and my engineer Headache from Classic Studios.
Shout out to Headache. You know Headache? I should have known that, man. That's my guy.
That's what did it. It said down at the bottom.
Yes,
Mixed
sir.
at Classic Studios by Headache.
Shout out to the homie Headache, man.
He in town now.
Yes, sir.
I get up with him Friday.
Oh, man, yeah, that's going to be dope. I already know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we got the Lucy project. Marv, what's some of your influence? Because I know you from the south side of the city, but you kind of got an East Coast feel. So what's some of your influence?
Man, like I said, yeah, definitely East Coast, man. I like a lot of literature. You know, I read a lot of comic books, so words stand out to me. So people who can use words, so-called wordsmith. That's why I got into that realm of like hip hop. It's like that. It's what you can't say sometimes to somebody you can put on paper or you can put on a record. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of sometimes people get disappointed in the people they meet in person, because they're supposedly so different from the person that they were as an artist that they heard from these speakers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's that freedom that they have to be who they really are. You know what I'm saying? And you can't always be that, because each song is a thought, and each thought, you know, shouldn't really linger that long. So you should take it for what it is in the moment. But my inspiration, man, all the greats, excuse me, Nas, Jay, Biggie. I'm a huge M-Fam when it comes to like best rapper to me, when it comes to when you know, in the sport of rhyming with lyrical content and incorporating the dirty dozen of it, the competition, the competitiveness, the tearing down of your opponent, you know, having an opponent, not being all bubblegum, not making a record, not caring about a label or media or the industry, just like, man, my lyrical content, like a fighter, lyrically, and that's M. You know what I mean? That would be at the top for me. But of course, you know, records from J, Biggie would be right under M for me. You know what I mean? That kind of lane. But also, I'm also a J. Cole fan. I'm a huge Chicago fan. You know, I like a lot of old school Chicago. I like the old Kanye. You know
The old Kanye.
The old Kanye.
Nah, but yeah, just mainly I like music is my inspiration. Hip hop, lyrical content. You know what I mean? I do dance. I don't do dance music, but you know, I understand the art in all perspectives of it. You know, from era to era, generation, and the separation of everybody's stand at it. You know what I mean?
Word.
But my thing is what you're saying and how you say it. To me, delivery is everything. You could be talking about the most simplest thing, but if you can creatively deliver it, I'm impressed.
Got you.
Oh,
So
awesome.
we got a mutual interest in a young lady who just released her debut album called Here for a Reason. Salute to K Valentine.
K Valentine, yes.
You've
yes,
always
yes.
been a strong supporter of her as well as myself. Like, what's your relationship and what makes you, because you don't see a lot of artists stand by other artists, so what makes you support her the way you do?
That's family. Her and her sister, who's also her manager, is a very strong support system in my life and in my music. I've known them for a while, and it's just that, just like you said, that support, you know what I mean, kind of that karma without having individual intention or hidden agenda.
Absolutely.
As far as putting something out to get something back. It's just that, you know, I mean, doing good, do unto others as you have them do to you. You know what I mean? Me being an artist, like I seen her from her first mixtape, Breakfast at Tiffany's. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shout out to that. That's still available, SoundCloud, whatever. You know what I mean? But I've seen that that growth where she went before Talib, before Here for a Reason, before, you know, $1 Million Baby, the other mixtape. You know what I mean? And I related to that. You know, I related to what it's like seeing someone become that superhero.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
And just knowing them and having that common interest. You know what I mean? Because like it could have been anybody in the sense that, you know, if it was music, then it would have been that relation we had. But it being a couple steps further than that, being family and knowing the person aside from what you hear in their music, you know, a bond is created. You know what I'm saying? You get a little closer and in depth to what they're saying. You know when you know what they're talking about, and it's more relatable. But yeah, K is doing great. You know what I'm saying? She's family. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Salute to her and congratulations and continue blessings to her, man, because she deserves everything she doing and she getting, man. So what's next for Marv J, man?
Man, I just want to spread germs. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. You know, exposure. I just want to get to a bigger fan base, give people this music, make better music, and just make the stamp more permanent in the game. You know what I'm saying? Make this lucrative, make it professional, make it a career.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So any and everything to push myself forward in that direction is, you know, on the list.
We getting another project soon?
Yeah, I'm working on music definitely. I got things in the cooking. Like I said, I'm doing Hit 'Em in the Head right now. I'm performing that. I might release that soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, the summertime I got shows coming up and things coming together. I'm definitely gonna have a mixtape and another EP before the year is out.
Oh,
Look at you.
This window, you know.
No, if you could do this one in 30 days, I mean.
I know, right? In theory, but we're not gonna rush it.
You're just magical. Well, tell our listeners where they can find you on social media.
Man, you could. The easiest thing is Google Marv J, MARVJ. All my social handles are Spread Germs, SPREADJERMZ. Yeah.
Pause, but I gotta ask you this: what kind of germs you trying to spread, Marv?
Well, again, like I said, I come from the hip hop era where you had the aliases and the alter ego. So my nickname is MJ. You know what I mean?
Right.
Marvin John. The J, but you know, my rap persona with the graffiti and tagging used to be Massive Germs. This is when names was crazy.
Sounds crazy.
This is the Wu-Tang era. It was like Professor, Inspector, you know, Massive Germs, but it was the initials, Massive Germs. So of course I dropped the Massive, and I used to spell it crazy, MASCIVE, like, you know, because it would look crazy when you tag it.
Right.
But Germs, I kept Germs, the moniker Germs, and just being like when I go back to M and being lyrical and rapping, you know, it's like my rhymes is like germs, I spread them, you know what I mean? So that's where it come from.
DJ MH to the Decima, the homie Marv J. When we come back, it's breaking the Yankee time, baby. Yeah. Last week we was 3 for 3. See if we can pull it off again.
Yo, it's Marv J, straight from the south side of Chicago, and you are now listening to the Booth Radio.